Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Matthew and welcome back to the channel. Now, I did say when I was at Crail that I would make a slight behind the scenes video. Well, welcome to my, I think it's going to be a 4-part mini-series, just based on the behind the scenes of my channel and what goes on and such. But before I get into that, a little bit of explaining. Now, in the video that I've still to edit and upload right now, I was at Knock Hill. Like you guys would have seen this by now, but as of recording, I was at Knock Hill for the Colin McRae Rally Challenge just a few weeks back, and I've still to edit and upload that video. I'm not too sure as to why I've waited this long to edit and upload it, but I wanted to go and do like a behind the scenes video, and I think, well, maybe this is the chance for me to show you like what actually goes on in terms of editing and uploading and such. I just thought that now's the chance for me to show you like what goes on behind the scenes in terms of editing and uploading and such, and like how long it actually takes. I did say at the end of the last video that I was gonna be the next video was gonna be at Knock Hill again for the intake show that was once known as the Paul Walker Tribute. Well, it turns out that I didn't actually go to it, and I do apologise on that, but it's all because I'm trying to save on money here. Alright, I'm trying to like cut back on certain things and such. So, and I think that even includes like some car shows as well. So, so that's the reason why I haven't really gone to intake. And also, I've noticed like as of like even last time I was there at intake last year, I noticed that the show was kind of dying down. It wasn't as big as it used to be, and I think it's because it's not got the Paul Walker Tribute name anymore. So like you may remember from last year, there was show cars on the north side of the hairpin. Well, back when I used to when I first went about 2015, 2016, there were show cars not only on the north side of the track, on the north side of the hairpin, but there were show cars on the south side of the hairpin as well. So, and now there's no show cars down there anymore. That like all the show cars are like on the north side of the hairpin now. So that's kind of made it a bit smaller. The cars that are there, like even at Ford Fair this year, I found that I got through the show cars pretty quickly, whereas like previously for like the Paul Walker Tribute and such, like it took me a fair wee while in order to actually get around the show cars and such. There isn't really a lot of people there that go to it anymore. Like the drag racing, like I've seen photos on other folks' Instagrams and Facebook pages of what intake looked like this year, and there was hardly anything on. The drag racing back like 10 years ago was like it was much more like going on, like if you know what I mean. Like it was a bit busier. There was it was more popular. The drifting as well, like that was like back then that was more popular as well. And even like the Paul Walker Tribute cars, like there was the Paul Walker replicas and such, and like even like there was even like some kind of truck there, like a TV truck that played clips of the Fast and Furious films and such. And I think that's what made it such a big event. And as well the Paul Walker Tribute parade lap as well. So I think that's what made it quite big as well. So if anyone from Knock Hill is watching this, then I think Could we have the name Paul Walker Tribute back, and like and pay tribute to him again? Or maybe another idea, instead of it being the intake show or the Paul Walker tribute, paying tribute to Paul Walker, why not pay tribute to Ken Block instead? And therefore you can have like Ken Block's, like maybe like some replicas that some people have made, or maybe even some of Ken Block's actual cars that he used, whether for like Jim Carner or like his own personal cars. You know, like that's something. And as well, when I was at Creo, I did say that I should be filming at Cleanfest and the Scottish Performance Show. Well, as it turns out, that didn't happen this year. Both of those shows didn't happen at all this year. Scottish Performance Show, that's because, well, they're moving location. They used to be down at Inch Farm in Kincardine. I'll show you where that is later on in the series. But now the moving location to where to, I don't know, but it will come back next year in 2026. So hopefully there won't be any other shows interrupting it. As for Cleanfest, that's kind of unknown, but apparently I've heard that it's dead. After 10 whole years, Cleanfest is gone. It apparently, I've heard rumours that it doesn't even exist anymore. And I think I know the reason as to why that is. Like the reasons are known, but my speculation is that that Cleanfest, I think it's something to do with its name. Like obviously, like to us, like us car enthusiasts, we know what Cleanfest is, and we know what Cleanfest means. It's like a show featuring like the cleanest modified cars and such. But to the outsiders, to the general public, they won't know what Cleanfest is. Like they won't even know that it's a car show. So I think that might be the reason why it's no longer a thing, and also because it was like clashing, like last year it clashed with the Scottish Performance Show, so I couldn't go to that. I decided to go to Cleanfest rather than the Scottish Performance Show last year. But I think like with me going to film and like trying to promote it, I think it might have been a bit too late. I think the damage has already been done, so. Cleanfest isn't happening anymore as far as I know. Welcome to this mini behind the scenes series where in this video I'm going to be discussing my origins and like what made me start YouTube and things like that, what made me want to do it. And then the second episode will be going over my equipment, like what I used to use and what I currently use now. Episode 3 will be going out to the various locations that I go to for filming and such. And episode 4 will be editing and uploading. So let's start off with the origins and the beginnings and like where my channel came from and like why I decided to do YouTube. So, I started doing YouTube, like this channel, believe it or not, this channel that I've got now, this current one, this wasn't the first YouTube channel I had. And maybe some of you OGs out there would know that I have had a fair few channels in the past before. But I don't consider those like proper channels. Like if you're watching this, I wouldn't recommend just going to my older channels. Just stick to this one. This current one is much better, I would say. The other two, like I had two previous channels before, and they were just kind of like test channels, really, just to see like how I would get on and if I like it and such. But I started YouTube like roughly around about I think 10 or 11 years ago. I was in primary 6, actually. I was still in primary school, believe it or not, when I wanted to do YouTube. I know how that sounds, but that is crazy. Like I was about I think 11 or 12, I think, when I first wanted to do it. I got the idea on wanting to do it. But of course, that didn't properly like take off until maybe like a year or so later. Um, I had two other channels before, like believe it or not, my origins was I wasn't. I'm gonna just come out with this. I wasn't really a big car enthusiast to begin with. I loved cars, I liked cars, but if you were to ask like 11 to 12-year-old me, like anything about cars, I couldn't even tell you. Um, like as far as I knew back then, like throughout the majority of my childhood, all I knew was just like the makes and manufacturers of like the models and manufacturers of some cars. That was it. I couldn't really tell you much else. Um, I did like cars, but not as much as I do now. And I did know, obviously, I did know cars, but not as much as I do now. So, what I wanted to do, like throughout the majority of my childhood, I was a big Transformers fan back in the day. And I was like inspired by like other like Transformers YouTubers out there. Like if there's anyone watching that might be interested, I don't know why, because this is a car channel, so you wouldn't be interested in that. But maybe if you've got like say like youngins that like might want to be interested in like something like my early childhood, like my Transformers addiction, then that I had back in the day, then you may want to pay attention to some of these names that I'm going to list off. Like I was inspired from like mainly from channels like MGO and like the Raging Nation and such. I was inspired by them, and like I wanted to do something similar to them. And that was back when I was still in primary school and like maybe early high school. But as soon as I got into high school, all that changed. I started to grow out of that, and as such, my interests changed. Obviously, because like teenage and like adulthood and all that. So all of that had got thrown out of the window, and instead, I decided to make a shift. I decided to essentially reboot myself. Is what I did, and I did that in about 2018. So 2018 is when I officially rebooted myself, becoming from a Transformers fan to a proper like car enthusiast, and that was when I started to learn a lot more about cars and such, and like that's where I've got the passion from. And like, well, there's a wee bit of things that I would say that got me into cars as well, but like that's kind of family related, and I'm not going to dive too deep on that. Let's just leave it at that. Let's just say it was like Top Gear, like my family, and you know like Disney's Cars and like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. That got me into it. Let's leave it at that, shall we? My original channel, I went by the name of like it was kind of confusing. It was confusing for me because like I didn't know how it all worked. Like for like creating a YouTube channel name. Like I've seen like so I created my channel on my phone. I created it on my old phone, my original phone that I had, and like there was like a first name and then the last name. So like I'd seen like YouTube channels or like spaces in them. So kind of like my old name, like the Ultimate Street Racer. That was all in spaces. But I'd also seen channels where like there wasn't any spaces at all. It was all one word, kind of like how my current name is. So like my original channel name, I went by the name of Drifting Veyron. Now I went for that because that was like that was my Transformers period, and like there was a certain Transformers character that I really liked, simply because he transformed into a Bugatti Veyron, in one of the Transformers films, and his name was Drift. And I just really like that name, and the fact that he transformed into a Bugatti Veyron, a Grand Sport Vitesse, which, well, uses the body of the Super Sport. I don't know why they should have called it the Super Sport Vitesse, because like the Grand Sport, that's like the original Veyron, isn't it? That's the original, like 2005 Bugatti Veyron. That's the Mark One Veyron. The Mark Two is the Super Sport. So they could have called it the Super Sport Vitesse. I don't know why they called it the Grand Sport. Maybe marketing or such. I don't know. But back then, back like what, 2015, 2014, that was the fastest car in the world, and that used to be my big dream car back in the day. So I just thought, why not just name it after my favourite Transformers character, after my dream car. There we go, job done. And then once my reboot had happened, I first changed that channel name. I can't remember if I changed that exact channel name or if I created another channel. I can't remember. But the next name I went was by the name of The Ultimate Drifter. And that was essentially kind of like my early teenage years and such. I mainly I couldn't drive back then, so mainly it was just a bunch of gaming videos that I did on that, which like on Forza Horizon 3 and such, which I thought for gaming videos that like you had to just like pop the camera in front of the TV screen and boom, there you go, Bob's your uncle. As it turns out, it's more advanced than that. As it turns out, it's not quite like that. Like I discovered that just because like from the human eye that it looks like 4K in that, it doesn't mean that that's how it actually looks on screen if I were to film the screen, and it kind of looks awful that way. So I then discovered a few years later that oh wait, well, you get things like Elgato capture cards and things, but I think that was for PCs and such. I don't fully understand all that stuff, all that sort of stuff, and even as of now, I don't understand it. So I just thought, oh, wait a minute, I could use my camera to record my voice and my face in that, like a face cam. And I've got some USB sticks. Can plug that into the back of the Xbox and just screen record on the Xbox, and there you go. That's how that worked. That was back in 2020 when I first did that. And occasionally I did go to the occasion car show, like Scottish Performance Show and Not Kill's Paul Walker Tribute Show, but that was about it. There was no Bowness car show, no Scottish Performance Show, no Clean Fest, no nothing. Really, no cars leaving car shows. It was mainly just gaming videos I used to do, and pretty poor quality ones. I'll admit that. So when I created the Ultimate Drifter and essentially rebooted myself, I then became inspired from other YouTubers, like car YouTubers, gaming, car gaming YouTubers. I got inspired from AR12 Gaming, Jack Ultramotive, Adam C3046, you name it. Heck, even I'm even inspired by Shmee and stuff like that, and folk like that, even DDE. I'd intend to become kind of like them at some point and review cars and things. And in fact, my last video on the Ultimate Drifter YouTube channel was actually me on my, I think it was my 16th birthday, going to Driftland, Lochgailey, for the Junior Supercar Driving Experience, where I drove a Porsche, I'm not too sure what kind of Porsche, I think a 997, I think, and an R35 GTR, and the GTR I had the most amount of fun in. I managed to get the GTR up to, I think, 53 miles an hour, I think, on that track. It's not that fast, I know, and I wish like it was all automatic cars. Even the R35 was put in like just automatic. I wish I could have used the flappy paddles and the launch control. I really wish I could have. And I think I'll try and find those videos and I'll upload them to this channel, so as you can see what the experience was like. Then again, if I were to go and do that, which I think I might, then you're all gonna have to excuse the squeaky voice, because I was only 16 back then, and now I'm like what, 21, just about to turn 22 in February. So if I do upload those videos then on this channel, then you're gonna need to bear the squeaky voice. But back then, like that was like a surreal moment, and I even got a drift experience, a drift passenger experience in a Vauxhall VXR8, and let me tell you, that was incredible. That was certainly something else. And that was my last ever video uploaded on the Ultimate Street Race and the Ultimate Drifter YouTube channel. There was even one time on that channel where I was at the Paul Walker tribute and I was filming the entire thing on my phone, as like, well, that's how I used to film things. I'll dive deeper into that later on in the series. But like, I was at North Hill for the Paul Walker tribute filming the entire thing, and I got back home. I needed to clear up some space on my phone, but I ended up accidentally deleting the pretty much the entire thing, the entire event that I recorded, and only ended up with one clip. Only ended up with one video, which was pretty annoying, I would have to say. And something that's kind of strange, and I don't know what the reason is for this, but at the time, YouTube would only allow me to upload videos that are straight up 15 minutes long. It wouldn't allow me to upload anything longer than that. I don't know what the reason is for that. I could possibly, like maybe whilst editing this video, I can try and research that, and I'll post a screenshot of that in the edit for you to see what the answer would have been. But or maybe if any of you guys know why that would have been, then let me know in the comments below. But after that, or after my last video on the Ultimate Drifter, I ended up having to get a new phone. I ended up essentially getting a whole brand new phone, and my whole YouTube and that was lost. I couldn't remember my login details for YouTube and none, so I couldn't get back into my old Ultimate Drifter channel. So that's where this current channel came in. It first went by the name of JDM Central. I couldn't really think of anything at the time, and I was kind of wanting it to be kind of a big, like kind of a big hit in a way. I was mainly wanting to cover just Japanese cars, because like back then, that was kind of my thing. I was mostly into Japanese cars, and I still am. But like I acknowledge like other cars as well, like supercars or like Lamborghinis and such. Like, I'm not too much of a big fan of Lamborghinis as I am with like Nissan Skylines and such, and like Subarus and Civics and that. But let's just say back then, like my my focus and my content was mainly exclusively on Japanese cars back then. And JDM Central, that would work for like a big channel, kind of like Donut Media, but for a small channel like what I run, like it doesn't seem to quite fit. So I changed it to becoming the Ultimate Street Racer, and that was the name that I used for a very, very long time. In fact, it was only up until I think 2022, I think. It was roughly around about the time when I went to the Gumball Rally. I think that might have been 2023, I think, yeah. 2023 Gumball Rally in Edinburgh. that name, like, it rings off the tongue quite well, and it does fit really well. It does work really well. It's quite catchy. But what I realised is that it doesn't really necessarily give me such of a good image. Like, especially in terms of like employment wise, like if I'm looking to get a job, then like they'll see like my email, my channel name is like designated as the ultimate street racer. They'll think I'm a street racer, and they'll not want to take me on. So I had to change it. Even like throughout like the beginnings of this channel, it was kind of the same as the ultimate drifter, simply because I couldn't drive yet, and like, if I wanted to go to a car show, I had to rely on like my family to take me out to that car show, and as a result, I couldn't like stay around all day. I couldn't stay around at the exits watching them all leave. So like there was a certain time limit I could have, and like there wasn't really much I could do, except just going around the show and seeing what there is. So it was on that JPCC video that I made, I think 2 years ago, where I announced that I had to change my channel name completely, simply because the Ultimate Street Racer, as good as it sounds and as catchy as it is, I didn't want people to think that I'm a street racer, because I'm not really. Like, sure, I may, like, you could consider me as being part of the clan and things, as I did used to attend some car meets back then, but like, I don't race on the streets or nothing. I'm quite a safe and sensible driver, so like, I don't race on the streets. Like, if I were to race, I'd go on the track for that. So like if you're thinking on racing on the streets, well, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Like, there's a saying that I have that speed can only be dangerous if you make it dangerous, and there are some like police officers that would kind of agree, well, not necessarily agree, but like would kind of think on that terms as well, and that kind of fine with it. But there's a lot that don't see it that way. So, like, if you were to ask me, like, if you're gonna race, just stick it to the track. Just keep it to the track. And if you're gonna drive maybe a bit fast on the roads, then I would say just take it with care. Take it easy. You know, like, there's no need to like use the throttle as an on-off switch. You know, like give it some throttle control. You know, like, don't just like be like a 17-year-old and just mash the foot on the throttle like bang. Like, no, just take it easy. So it was on that video where I had to announce I had to make my change the channel name. Although I couldn't really think of one on the spot. However, I did actually think of a channel name. It was kind of like a derived from Jack Ultramotive to being Mattautomotive. But then, like by the next video, it clicked on me, and I'm like, I know what it is. I know what it will be. My name is Matthew, right? Short, well, Matt for short. Although everyone just calls me Matthew, so I'm an automotive channel. So there you go. Just combine the two together, Matt Automotive. There you go. And that's where I've got the channel name as of right now. And as soon as I started to drive, like as soon as I got my driver's license, that was basically it. Like I had ambitions on wanting to like go out to like various different racetracks like across the UK, and like even take a trip down to the Nürburgring, down to the Nordschleife, and maybe get some laps in there. Even had some visions on going up to the NC 500, which I will do at some point. I will do the NC 500 one day. I don't know when that is, but I will do it, and it is on the cards, so stay tuned for that. Like, it could be years away, but just be on high alert on that. However, those ambitions kind of fell flat on its face when I discovered on like how difficult it is to drive in these sorts of areas. So like, I took the tram going into to the Edinburgh for the Gumball Rally. I drove up to Ingliston and got the park and ride tram up to Edinburgh instead, simply because I don't like driving in these like big city environments. You know, like from where I am, like my local area, like we've got it very very lucky for like driving roads. We've got it very lucky for like just roads in general. But like in Edinburgh, Edinburgh and Glasgow, it's a nightmare. Like the amount of lanes you have to go into and such, and it's just like the cars everywhere. Road network is just much more different. It's much different than it is here. So, and plus parking in like places like Glasgow and Edinburgh is a nightmare. So, Ingliston, like as far as going into Edinburgh, Ingliston is as far as I would go, and then I would come out the park and ride at Ingliston and take the tram in instead. That's much easier. But as such, it's kind of left me and my channel a bit dry, so to speak. It's kind of tough, like in my position, for me to go and find content out there. Like there isn't really a lot of car content here in Scotland, like versus in England or even in America. There's not a lot. Even in Japan, like there's a lot more car content to be filmed in Japan than there is here. Much more. So that's why I don't really tend to edit and upload as much, because I'm struggling to find some car content out here. So maybe if any of you have got any ideas for me to attend more shows in the future, then let me know in the comments below, and I think I might see to maybe going out there one day. Like I'm thinking of going out to the Aberdeen car show one day. The problem is that's all the way up in Aberdeen. That's like a 2 to 3 hour drive away from here. So I will be on the road for quite a while, and like that's the reason why like my surprise hasn't happened yet. Like it is still on the cards, my surprise, but it's all the way up in like Aberdeen way. So getting up there is like missions and missions away. So you're going to need to stay tight on that. But the Aberdeen car show, I've been wanting to go to that simply because, well, the organisers have told me that the cars they get up there are absolutely mind-blowing. Like, there was once where I'd seen a photo of a top secret R35 up there. And someone even had a very own WRC car up there once. I think that was back in 2021, so yeah, I've definitely got to make a trip up there at some point, like. But yeah, like I've just been like into filming for like ages, like I remember like way like when I was younger, like way, like this was like 15 years ago or something. Like, this was like way when I was younger, like back in like when I was on like primary 3 or 4. Like, I had like a wee like Buzz Lightyear camera, and I've just been filming off of that, and like just practicing videoing and that for like years and years. So like you kind of understand like how long I've been kind of wanting to do this kind of sort of stuff, you know, and like. It's just, I don't know how to describe it, but like I've been wanting to do it for years. And of course, where I am now, I've got more time to spend at these car shows. I've got more time to watch and film the cars all leaving. So I think I've explained enough of my origins. Like, I've been recording there for like straight like 34 minutes. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. I think I've rambled on enough about my origins and such. So I'm gonna leave it off here. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you thought of it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be episode 2 of this behind the scenes video. So stay tuned. See you next time. Peace. Oh.